we're back again for a week. We've finally come back because it's been 2 weeks since we've done this, and we missed out on one. And we've got a very special guest near and dear to our hearts because Adrienne McLean has been one of those people that we've met and has been one of the best supporters that we've had from a lot of the things that we've been doing. We're from the network to through chambers, through the things that she's doing with her own groups and community. She's all over. Like if you're on socials, you would see her be popping in many different chambers. And now I'm hearing that she's the vice president of the Ku-ring-gai Chambers. She's a mentor and a coach, and she's even ran for council. Oh my goodness, it's like there's so many different things and you know, I'm really happy that you're here. It's been such a long time. Could you tell us something about what happened with, like, how are you suddenly the vice president of Ku-ring-gai Chambers?
Well, Sandra and Andrew, thank you so much for having me this afternoon. Yes, I joined the Ku-ring-gai Chamber of Commerce at the beginning of 2022, and we're reinvigorating the chamber. Networking groups have really struggled over the last couple of years, and now it's time. People are wanting to get out there, they're wanting to socialise and meet each other, and this is a great time for the Ku-ring-gai area to start and have our chamber start to run monthly events to connect people and businesses together.
How long has the chamber been running for?
It's been running. It was established in 2009, so it's been running 13 years or so, and it has a network of members. But we're wanting to grow that, and Ku-ring-gai's got lots of businesses in the district, and more so now than ever before have businesses really needing to have that support. They're needing to meet each other and get out there and network. And also the part about advocacy with council is really important. And you mentioned that I went into the council elections at the end of 2021. Well, that was an experience and a half.
Tell us a bit. How did it get started?
Look, I've been involved with the community for a long time, and it was just time for me to test the waters. And a councillor friend of mine really, he suggested that I run for council. So I went down the process, and I didn't get in, but I tell you, it was a really great experience about personal selling and getting yourself out there, because you really have to do that if you're going to go for local government, state and federal government. And I know we've got the federal government elections coming up now, and my hat goes off to every candidate, because it's a really big gig going through this the nominations and then going through the build up to the election. I tell people that anything you've heard about a political campaign happened during our local government election. And part of my work with my mentoring is around personal selling and building people's confidence up to go out and sell themselves, either in a presentation or on video or in podcasting. That personal selling aspect is really important when you're going out and selling products or services or whatever it is. And an election experience really takes you right through that journey. I'll tell you a little funny thing. I was on pre-polling and needed to go to the shops to get something. and I realised I was walking around Woolworths with my T-shirt on with Adrienne McLean and this big photo.
Your name, loud and proud. Why not?
I didn't have a cardigan or anything to cover it.
Well, if you get lost, we know where you are.
Yeah. So yeah.
So in the confidence, selling through confidence. Do you have any tips or tricks that people can take away today to help build their confidence?
Well, I think the primary thing is to get that out there and do it, and go to networking functions and talk to people about what you do. Participate in podcasts if you can find a podcast like this one where you can talk about what you do. Participate in give presentations at Rotary or other networking events. Going out and meeting people and talking about what you do builds your confidence. It builds your fluency around talking about what you do, and when you hear people say, "Oh yes, I know, I understand that," or "Yes, I get what you're talking about," then it builds your confidence up, and it is around continually doing it. So you've got to keep going, and even if you feel, "Oh, I don't know," go and do it, because it makes a difference. And the more you do it, the more confident you are about talking about what you do.
Oh, definitely, because I still recall the first video I've done with you at the fountain after one of the meets, and we were just talking really comfortable there, and there was just more like a little bit of a banter between us, and it really comes down to the conversations that you have with many different people, and you just get used to doing this. So if you're really uncomfortable about doing video, speak to Adrienne, because she will teach you how to really get your words out there properly, and just start talking. And like what Adrienne mentioned, speaking is communication is part of the journey, and we need to be doing that. Are there any other tips about people not feeling, because some of the networking events, right, that we've been in, and there's a lot of people that have been really shy, or we get some terms thrown around about being an introvert versus an extrovert, and some people don't really want to talk and shy away from doing it. What are some tips to get away from that shyness?
Well, the biggest one, and it sounds funny to say, but the biggest one is around breathing. Breathing is the best way to relax you. And if you put your shoulders back a little bit, and you open up your rib cage, and you allow a bit more air into your lungs, it improves your posture, and it makes you
you feel the diaphragm too, right?
You feel a bit. Oh yeah, you feel like you can take things on, and actually when you're in a better posture, you get more oxygen in your brain, funnily enough, and it helps with your thinking. So if you ever had that experience of going blank and not saying something, probably, not having the right words, you're probably hunched over a little bit and contracted, and the blood flow isn't as good as it could be. So just by breathing, putting your shoulders back, posture is really important. There's a process called the Alexander technique, and it's about having a straight backbone right up, right up, and lengthening the neck and rolling your shoulders back. And that is a strong posture that gets air into the lungs and gets air into your whole system, and it really helps with the way that you feel interact in your interactions. And the other thing that really helps if you're feeling nervous at a networking event is to ask somebody a question. It doesn't matter what the question is, really. You know, you could say, "Oh, did you have trouble getting here today?" Or you know, "Oh, what what do you do?" You know, and I just go and say, "Hi, I'm Adrienne," and they'll say, "Oh, hi, I'm Peter," and then we'll start to have a conversation. And just by, if you're feeling nervous, just by taking a little step forward and asking a question, it makes a difference. And believe it or not, probably the person you're standing next to also is feeling nervous. So you know, you're probably both in the same boat. And if they're not feeling as nervous, they'll come up and ask you a question, and that makes it easy too.
So it looks like if you're feeling nervous, look for the other nervous ones, and then together you can be nervous together.
My favourite one's always been there's a couple of people that do ask, and it's what's your favourite chocolate, because everyone's got a favourite chocolate. I have come across a few different people that don't like chocolate, so it's like, okay, this is just a little bit awkward. But wine, do you like wine?
Why don't they like chocolate? It might be some sort of deep thing that happened years ago.
It was traumatic or something, that they just spat it out, and I didn't want to go through that trauma and sort of bring it out and bring out the nervousness. So I brought it back to wine and different alcohols that they might like, and it just made them feel comfortable. And as soon as people are feeling comfortable, especially in these networking events, they just tend to start to want to open up, because that's the whole thing, is starting in that conversation with many different people. And you did that really well with the group, that when people are going around just explaining themselves, you make them feel comfortable and make them feel like, what are your techniques to make them feel comfortable and feel like they're to open up to you?
Oh, look, just being friendly really helps, smiling, being friendly, introducing yourself, giving them a place to sit, making sure they're comfortable, and attending to, has everybody got glasses of water, it does take the network lead organizer, if they take control, that's part of their role to make people feel comfortable. And I have to say, it took me a while to be able to feel comfortable about those 30-second and 60-second pictures. When I first started out, I thought, oh gosh, did any of that make sense? Or and generally, people are all in the same boat, and they're all there to raise awareness of their business. And the more we can do to help them to explain what their business is about, the more that you build a rapport with them. Well, I've been doing some work on rapport building at the moment, and it's really important for business to build rapport with the people in your network, and it's also important to build trust with them. And you hear that people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and the networking events are really a vital part of building that relationship with people, so that when they have a problem, you know who to call, and you call people that you do have a relationship with, and you trust that they can do what is needed. So so that's really it's all about sort of being focused on the other person and the people in the group, and making them feel welcome, really.
I really like what you mentioned there with relationships, because that's one of the key pillars that we have with CORE, which is collaboration, opportunities, relationships, and events. So some of the things that we have in that is it's exactly what you've mentioned, and just having these ideals makes people feel comfortable, and the whole idea is to make people feel safe and have like a safe place, and that's what that's what I feel, and a lot of other people that have come across you. You make people feel safe, and I'm very grateful for that, because you do a lot of things in the community. So thank you.
Well, that's my pleasure. And if people feel safe and they can share in a function, then they build themselves up. They learn about things. They learn about the other businesses in the group. They can develop their skills, and that's all around what a networking group is about. With the Ku-ring-gai Chamber, or any chamber for that matter, one of the important parts that differentiates a chamber from other networking events is the advocacy role, and so you know we're looking at building that advocacy part with the Ku-ring-gai Chamber, with Ku-ring-gai Council, and we're lucky to have support for that. So it's good.
It's great to have that collaboration in place, and how can you get the message out there? What can we do for the members and people that come along?
Yes.
To those events. So think bigger, grow and succeed. Where can people find that podcast?
Oh, you can find the podcast on the Speakers Practice website under interviews. And this is a 30-minute interview with professionals, and we talk about getting out of your comfort zone and looking at your aspirations, how you can think bigger about who you are and what you offer the world. And it's actually a bigger ask than first thought. So, it sounds wonderful to start your own business and go and have good work-life balance. It all sounds fantastic. But when you actually go into it, then you start. There can be challenges along the way, and it's about how you navigate those challenges and the steps that you have to take to make the big changes. And there's a wonderful image going around social media at the moment, and it's about a staircase, and it has big steps on one side, like huge steps, and the person's trying to get up these huge steps, or it's got tiny little steps, and the person's just going up these tiny little steps. And we talk in Think Bigger, Grow and Succeed about taking baby steps and keep on going, and step by step, and the smaller steps are easier to manage. And so and we talk about goal setting, and by doing it in incremental steps, it makes it a whole lot easier to achieve big goals.
All right, we'll throw the website link in the comments here. And is it on YouTube? Because someone's asked, does Adrienne have her own channel?
Oh yes,
that was from YouTube.
I have a few playlists. One playlist is the Think Bigger, Grow and Succeed on YouTube. We're doing this via, we're live streaming it actually on a webinar platform. We've just started that recently on Monday afternoons at 4:00, and it does go up onto YouTube. I've done over 40 of these episodes. The majority of them have been true podcasts. So there's a whole lot of audio sessions on the website under. You'll find the podcast.
I'm definitely going to look out for that, and we'll put it into a lot of the social media and put it onto our website as well, and we'll help get it out there. And
Century, if you're still listening, then there you go. Yes, She does have her own
Century.
channel. We'll put it in the comments. That was on YouTube.
Comments.
Is Adrienne looking for any volunteers? That's from Roller Hub. The
Who's
comments aren't
asking?
going to come in. That's through Twitch.
I can
That's a
put
comment
it
on
down
Twitch.
here. And
there
that
we
is
go.
from Roller Hug. Roller Hug.
Yeah,
And
Roller Hug.
Roller Hug.
And Roller Hug even mentioned, Roller Hug follows your channel. So here we go. Like we've got some fans, and it's just coming out from different channels at the moment. From Twitch is normally a gaming platform, but it's kind of blown up everywhere, and so many different outlets out there. But yeah, we've sort of run out of time. We can always keep talking. We'd like to have you back for other sessions in the future. And just to wrap a lot of these things, connect with Adrienne on LinkedIn. I'll put this out there now. There's Adrienne's LinkedIn here, and I've already put that into other places. Connect with Adrienne; she's great. And if you want to do a lot more, especially around the areas of sales, mentoring, I'm telling you, she's just all over the place at the moment. So she's out there.
Oh, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Any closing remarks?
Oh, look, thank you, Andrew and Sandro, for having me this afternoon. It's been great fun. And, yeah, go out, think bigger about who you are and what you are for the world, and just take baby steps to get there.
Oh, I love that. Thanks, Adrienne.
Thanks, Adrienne. Talk soon.
Until next week. Bye.